so insane.
Hello and welcome to Madhouse, episode 116. My name is the Ultimate Spy. I am the host of this podcast, and joining me this week I have
Steven Kovakovich, also known as Steve Kovac. I exist in this world or something.
Yes, you do.
You think?
Hello, back at it again with another podcast.
Yay!
This one is going to be a particularly interesting one, so stay tuned.
Yes.
Yeah, but I, like Steve, I am an entity. I exist, and sometimes I just fade into the background, but that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just in general.
I exist. Wild concept.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And hello, I'm a person. This is bigdinoguy here.
Okay, so this week's
I'm not making a new one.
podcast topic will be on something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I mean, a long time. It's been in the works for a while. I've been wanting to do this particular topic for a long time because it's just been something I've been wanting to explore.
Shark boy and lava girl.
We've never done it before. And that's the concept of dreams. Now, I've been really fascinated about this, as I've actually been on my list for a while now. Just the idea of dreams as a whole, and, you know, I mean, there's not really much we can talk about in terms of how they're, like, existing, but, like, just, I guess we could do just stories from each of us, like, the weirdest dreams, the scariest dreams even, the coolest dreams ever.
Really cool dreams.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one that I can think of right off the top of my head, I remember after a part of a dream where I was running away from some demon baby.
What?
After I got out of the hotel, it immediately transformed into some third world tier.
Oh my god.
And then I looked around, there was this massive concrete wall that surrounded the thing. And it had like guard towers all over the place. It looked really cool.
That's terrifying, but awesome.
And the next thing I remember everyone was in like orange uniforms or something.
What?
And I remember
uniforms. You know shit's about to go down.
And I remember
Area 51.
The next thing
Naruto running into the fucking base like.
The next thing I remember, we're being escorted by some, black troops, like troops in like black gear and everything.
That's
with down a hallway, like with like concrete walls on either side, and we're led into a room where there's a bunch of people in like lab coats sitting on stools next to some weird steampunk-looking device.
Whoa!
Oh heck yeah!
That's cool.
There's like one guy who's wearing the device, and the scientists are basically asking the people questions. They're all prisoners, by the way. Basically, the idea is if it's a really hard test, and if the person completes the test successfully, they get to leave the facility and go into the real world, whatever.
That's really interesting.
And then I remember, and we saw the guy, like, he got shocked.
Oh my god.
Sounds like
I remember, so we were all like, oh shit, we're gonna die. We're all sitting there like, oh god, we're gonna die. And then we sit down, and there's this woman who does the test, and she gets every answer right, and then everyone in the room audibly gasps, like, holy shit,
What?
No one's ever done that before. And then they're like, okay, you can make one request, as long as it's reasonable, basically. And she was like, okay, I want everyone who's with me right now. And she looked at us and went, okay, I want all of us to go with me.
Wow, that is...
Damn.
And then I remember at the very end, right before I woke up, I remember we were being escorted through like a big Nazi-esque parade thing.
What?
Like there were a bunch of people waving flags, and there was like marching music playing. There were a bunch of guards in uniforms and stuff, and we were all being escorted to like a decorative train or something.
Wow.
And it had like this emblem or whatever, this gold emblem on each car or whatever, and it was like a fancy passenger train or something. And then I woke up.
Wow, that is bizarre.
That sounds interesting.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I And I even made my own little backstory behind it. Like not too long after I woke up, like I just kind of, afterwards I made a bunch of characters relating to it and a bunch of.
That's insane.
And
that's really cool.
On it. Basically, the scenario that I created based on what I saw in the dream was it takes place in a world where everyone basically invented the nuclear bomb at about the same time during World War II. And then everyone just nuked each other. And everyone nuked each other. And then hundreds of years later, there's like a sort of Nazi, like basically the remnants of the Nazis kind of come up, and the characters are groups being oppressed by the Nazis within this alternate universe, whatever.
Wow.
And stuff like that. I created all these characters, including and all this lore behind it, and I mean, I just could not let that dream just pass. Like, I was like, holy shit.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great.
Lucid dreaming is amazing.
Given in that dream, I'm actually surprised. It felt almost like a film.
Wow.
Less like a dream and more like a film.
Oh, I know what you mean. That sounds really
I've had
crazy.
some other cool dreams like that, but unfortunately, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I know I've had.
Wow, that's amazing. I remember I had a dream a while back. I guess I had recently lost my 3DS and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I ever have those dreams where you're missing something, like you're missing a item, you can't find it, and then you have a dream where you found it. Happened to me too. I was looking for my 3DS because I couldn't find it anywhere. I mean, now it's obviously found, thankfully. But I've been looking for it everywhere. I couldn't find it, and I dreamt that I found it in my dream, and I'm like, oh my god! And I was like kissing, like, oh, I'm so happy to see my 3DS, yay! And then I woke up, I'm like, it's still missing, isn't it? Yep, it's still missing. It was like, damn it! And then of course it was found in the end. It ended up in my dad's car.
I've had dreams like
that. Was like, that was like, those kind of dreams are like the worst. There's like. You're like, oh, you found it. Like, oh yeah, it's still missing in real life. In the real world, it's still missing.
Yeah, I've had dreams where I literally.
That's so fun.
I've had dreams where I literally like I get something that I've always really, really wanted, and I'm like, yes, please, thank you. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh wait. And sometimes when that happened, like I would know when I'm starting to wake up, and I'm like, I try my best to kind of drag it with me into the real world somehow.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god, I remember this one dream I had where okay, so this is way back in August of middle school, one of those years, and I'm in middle school, and so there were these. Okay, how do I describe it? It starts out with me in the place I was living at the time.
Okay, Tacoma.
Yeah, I was in my bathroom. Okay. And these fucking aliens.
Oh my god.
They are, let me describe them. They are pink and green. They look kind of like that one dude from Courage the Cowardly Dog. The one with the freaking exposed, like, brain and shit.
Oh, okay. I think I know.
Like they had like the domed head, the brain. Yeah. It was like a mix of that and the gamester and the freaking gamesters from the Gamesters of Triskelion.
Okay.
And they were pink and green, and it was fucking creepy. So they make this fucking laser cage around me to try and to I don't know for what. But
they want to probe you.
Most likely. But I somehow escape, I believe, with my dad or something like that. It was either me or with him. And So I run, I eventually escape, and I'm running, and I find this hole, and I run in the hole, and I'm in not a sewer, but like in a tunnel, and I'm in the tunnel, and I'm running, and they find me when I get outside the fucking tunnel, and they take me through space for whatever fucking reason. And I specifically say in this dream that I'm actually starting to trust them because obviously they could have killed me and they didn't.
Yeah.
Or some shit. And so...
I wouldn't trust them. They're abducting me.
Right? But yeah, so I do that, and they take me to space, and I see this beautiful freaking nebula. Like, it's red and green, there's stars. It is fucking fantastic.
Nice.
And at the very end, I ask if there is a way I can contact them outside the dream. So apparently I sort of become self-aware that I'm actually dreaming right at the very end. And then I wake up to my dad snoring because at the end, right as they are about to say what it is that I can do, I start to wake up, and then...
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Fucking cliffhanger if I ever fucking saw it. And there was more to it, but that's like all I can think of right now off the top of my head. But it was fucking crazy.
Wow,
that would have been cool. You get to contact aliens.
I know, right?
Had contact with aliens.
I know, right?
Wow, that's fascinating.
I wonder if they were able to complete what they were going to tell you, if it would have actually worked.
I wonder, yeah. But you know, dreams I've read are like lot are like physical manifestation, or like it's like your brain's way of essentially defragging itself.
Right. Yeah, of course.
It's a way that it stores information, it processes it, it categorizes it, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's basically what dreams. That's sort of why we dream. It's because that's our brain's way of doing that.
Yeah, of course. I think dreams are very fascinating because
they're really interesting. There's a whole psychological subject dedicated to that, and I find that really fascinating, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like with dreams, because they're so mysterious, because literally anything can happen in dreams. Like, anything. They can be scary. I mean, I've had dreams years ago where I've been lost and couldn't get home, and I ended up crying in my sleep, and it was so sad. Like, those kind of dreams. Or dreams where I've actually had dreams. I mean, I can't remember the last dreams I've had. I had one on the back burner I can talk about in a bit. But there's been dreams. I don't know if you've had the same dreams where it's getting so good, like everything's amazing in the dream. It's like a paradise dream, and then boom, you wake up. Our alarm goes.
Am I the only one here that rarely ever has dreams like that?
No, you are not, my friend. Everybody has dreams like that.
It's just
I rarely have dreams like that. Almost never.
It's like one of the
most of my dreams, someone dies.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes in dreams. You end up dying, and it sucks.
Well, I've had dreams. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go for it.
I've had dreams. I remember I've had dreams where I've actually seen and talked to dead relatives.
Oh, that can happen, yeah. I mean, I've never experienced it, but yeah.
I remember there was a dream. I will always remember this. It was not too long after my grandma on my dad's side died. I remember I was in a car, and we were driving through, basically down what looks like, I don't know, just some foresty road, like what was typical in Washington.
Right, of course, yeah.
And I remember I looked to my left, and I saw my grandma sitting in the back seat next to me.
Wow.
Who had died. I think in the dream I even knew she was dead, so I was like, oh, hey. And she acknowledged that I was there, and then I think I woke up.
Wow, that's amazing. Really.
I think she might have said something or was about to say something, but then I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. I I've had dreams like that where
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, dreams. Oh, yeah, that's right. Dreams, I've also found, can also be keys to memories. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure.
memories to like one day, I was riding down this road. It was foresty. Now, a lot of forests in Washington, for those of you who aren't here, it is a very foresty place.
Yes, that's very true.
Very. And now, I had not remembered this dream at all up till this point. But when I looked out at this road, I instantly remembered not only how it looked so much like one of my childhood homes, but a dream that I had about that at some time in the past.
Wow.
Yeah, like I've had times when I had dreams about and where I remember a dream I had in the past.
Oh yeah, that can happen. I
mean,
I haven't.
I've had dreams, and then I remember seeing like either characters or things that seem familiar, like from another dream, and I'm like, oh, I've recognized that. Like I've seen it before.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I actually the dream I was about to talk about was actually interesting because it's just the most random dream ever. I mean, it's not like a super interesting dream. It's just like a dream I had last night. I think it was the night before. So my brother works. I think he works at a Funko warehouse, and the dream I had, he did not work at a Funko warehouse in my dream. So I think it was about 2 nights ago that I had this dream. I have no idea why it happened, and it involved me. I was late night and I was hungry, very hungry. I hadn't eaten anything. I came to I think it was some kind of like fast joint, and I didn't even know he worked there. My brother just happened to work there. They were like about to close, and I got to like order food or something like that. It was like his coworkers were there, and they get to let me in, and it was like I got to order food. And I mean, I didn't get to finish the dream. It was like I have no idea why I had it. It's like what is happening? He doesn't even work here. He's never worked at a fast food restaurant in his entire life.
Right?
It's like what is happening? Yeah, I don't know what that was about. It was just like the weirdest thing ever. I mean, I've had dreams where like the best thing is ever happening, and then I just wake up and it's over. That can happen a lot.
Most of my dreams are fiction grounded in reality. Like I said, most of my dreams are always violent. When I was younger, I did something called lucid dreaming. I do it on occasion, but not nearly as much as I used to. And lucid dreaming is basically where you know that it's a dream and you still move your character. Basically, I think of it like you're playing a video game.
Wow.
But your brain is still knowing that, hey, this is in fact a dream. And you're in control of your avatar inside of this dream state.
That's cool.
Most of my dreams were like a combination of things. Star Wars, Transformer, G.I. Joe, and Alien and Predator all in one, or basically they're real, and basically Earth is in a shitstorm, and or basically I'm trying to save different people that I love, and depending on whatever's going on in real life, whether it's a girlfriend at the time or whatever, and most of my dreams though, someone ends up dead.
That's the worst.
Right.
It's terrible.
Whether it's someone that I know or something like that. But I mean, most of my dreams, violent shit happens. I mean, a lot of explosions, a lot of death, and a lot of action. Though I mean, it's the equivalent of an action movie. But it can get a little
rated R.
Yeah, that's funny and mild. But it wasn't bad though. It was and it wasn't, because I mean, at the same time though, like my family never got hurt. I always saved them at the end, but a lot of close calls as well, and it also helped me kind of work out some of my own fears. Like for example, Alien.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I would dream about a xenomorph from the movie Alien, and I'm going to be a happy camper. But if I dream about the fucking alien ET, I'm going to shit my pants.
Well, of course, I wouldn't blame you. Yeah.
I hate ET. I fucking hate ET. But I love me the facehuggers and Xenos. Give me those acid blood any day, because I actually know what they're trying to do. ET just crisp me the fuck out.
Actually, speaking of scary dreams, if you were already finished, that kind of reminds me of dreams I've had in the past. Now, one of many worst fears I have is natural disasters. I hate them so much. I mean, I have many fears, but that's one of them. And I've had several dreams in the past, and they terrify me because I'm like, you never know what can happen. I mean, luckily here in Washington, we rarely get it. I mean, maybe an earthquake, maybe. But that's pretty much it. Maybe
which is really ironic because we're right on top of the San Andreas Fault.
Yeah, exactly. So I've had dreams in the past, and actually I remember them very vividly, and they're terrifying because I would never want to be in a situation like that where twisters. I'm not going to call them tornadoes because that's even worse. It's not even worse. Twisters, like twisters are like are announced as heading towards our way, or we're heading into one, or we're like on a road trip, and suddenly I see like a cloud formation. I'm like, oh shit! And then, or like I think in actually in Yellowstone when I was back in 2011, I think it was when I went to Yellowstone, it was very windy there. We didn't have any like natural disaster, but it was like I felt like a hurricane was going through the place where we're living, and it was terrifying. But
actually,
what's that?
I've actually ridden through gustnados before.
Wow.
And it's actually not that bad. Like, you can feel the air, but it's actually really kind of meh.
I don't know. I just whenever
over in Texas, you get gustnados a lot, or in Colorado.
Oh yeah, they're terrifying because especially when I dream that it's happening, like I can see it or it's about to head our way. I know it's not real, but like in the dream, it's like this is so scary. That's the worst kind of dream ever. Those are the terrifying dreams. I mean, I've had occasional dreams where because I've seen a scary video on the internet, I gotta stop doing that. It'll come to life, or I'll be. That's the reason why I don't like horror movies, specifically horror movies, not horror games, but horror movies, is because I never watched the Child's Play movies because I would never ever watch them. I think just one image of Chucky would just go no way. It's because I think I even went to the Universal Studios at one point when I went to Disneyland, and we went to the I guess the Universal characters, and there was a making of the doll, and it was like, okay, that's interesting, but never gonna watch that. And I think I ended up when I was like hearing about the Chucky thing, I think I even saw a little glimpses of the movie. I never watched it. Obviously, it would give me nightmares. But even that, I would get nightmares, and I would feel like, oh, is Chucky actually walking down my hall right now, kind of thing.
And I would Courage the Cowardly Dog is worse.
And I wouldn't be able to sleep because of that. It was like I would dream about not being able to sleep because I'm worried that would happen. I mean, obviously, I know it's not going to happen because it's a fictional character, but like even then, it's like terrifying. But those are just some dreams I've had in the past. I mean, I know that by watching scary videos online or mysterious videos, I'm going to have some jitters in the night where I'm going to feel a little unsettling about it. But yeah, I know I've that's pretty much it. Just like the natural disaster things, like or even seeing movies that have natural disasters are just a big turn me off because I hate having that happen. I would never want to have that happen. It's terrifying. But I've had several of those in my past where I'm like, I hope that's never going to happen in real life. Luckily, it does not. We don't really get that. I mean, I think the most we've ever gotten is really big windstorms and earthquakes. That's basically it. But they rarely happen just because of where we are in the U.S., which is good. I mean, I don't know if it's the same in the UK or other countries, but here in America, we're depending on where you live.
In the UK, they get really, really freaking crazy weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my friend Angelina, she lives there, and just a few. Let me look for the DMs again. But just a few days ago, it was the hottest week that they have had this year, or something like that. They had a fucking rainstorm. It lasted 45 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
And then they had fucking hail the size of chickpeas.
Oh boy.
Wow. Jeez.
Back to rain, and then more lightning over the span of like less than an hour. All of
God.
them. Yeah.
Jeez, that's terrifying. My God, that must have been something.
Right?
I'm sorry we kind of got off topic,
let me tell you right now, though, the thunderstorms like that are nothing compared to the ones down in Texas. Texas thunderstorms are fucking... You cannot sleep during one of those.
I can imagine. Yeah, that must be horrible to live through. But yeah, I don't want to go too much into the scary dreams, but I just thought I should mention some of the worst ones I've had in terms of. I mean, I've had some weird ones in the past. I just can't really remember them. I think that's the interesting thing about dreams is that some of them can be good, and some of them you don't want to forget because they're so good. Like some of them are like awesome, so cool, and it's like, what happened? It's like, oh my God, that was so cool, and it's like, oh, it's a dream. It's like, I wish that I could remember that. And it's like that's the thing about dreams. It's like they suck because you can't remember them, especially the ones you like.
Write them down as soon as you freaking wake up.
You know, it's like that's the thing about dreams is that I've never understood how they exist in the first place. Like they just like I think in my book they're just like things that just happen in your mind when you're sleeping that just like random things that happen. They're just random things. There really can be like anything really.
And that's the thing. You see, when you're dreaming, and you know your mind it collects all this information over the course of the day, and when it does that, it has to do something with it. And this is also the reason that more that your mind is actually more active asleep than it is awake, because when you're dreaming, when you're sleeping, that's essentially just your body's way of processing the day and categorizing all that information, and that's also part of the reason why you feel so much better after you've had a good nap. Because when you wake up, your mind is a little bit clearer because it's had that time to process all of that information. And there was something else I've read about how your mind that there's this waste or residue that builds up in your mind over the course of the day, and that when you sleep, that's when it gets cleared out.
Oh, flushed out of there.
Interesting.
Well, not necessarily flushed, but like converted in some way. I don't remember it exactly. If somebody link it down in the comments if you can.
Yeah,
but
sure.
There is one, but that I found particularly interesting, and that's actually where the general feeling of sleepiness comes from, in addition to the regular hormones like melatonin and stuff like that people produce when it's time to sleep.
You know, Tom, I know that you don't want to talk about scary stuff, but I gotta say this one.
Okay. Well, we were talking. I mean, we don't have to like stop talking about it. Just like, not as much. We can talk a little bit about it. Eventually, it has to do with dreams. But yeah.
Well,
I don't want to have nightmares.
The worst feeling that I have is it doesn't happen often, but sometimes when I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping fine. All of a sudden, though, I feel like I'm falling.
Oh, yeah, I hate that. I do hate that a lot.
I know that feeling.
I have that happen a lot, actually. You'd be surprised. Like I've had dreams where I've fallen off, where I've dreamt like I've fallen off a building. I can just, I mean, not to commit suicide or anything, but just to fall off and like, and then I'm like, oh shit, I can't stop falling.
For me, falling off of pool ledges has been one of the most common things. Like, not one of the most common dreams, but like if it is a falling dream, then chances are that's what happens. And you want to know something? That feeling is actually because your body essentially when you fall asleep, your brain, there's a process that happens. And when and sometimes your body and your mind fall asleep at different paces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when you're falling asleep and you feel that jerk, it's essentially that your body is falling asleep faster than your mind, and it's essentially it sort of reacts like you're dying almost.
Wow.
It's a sort of like mini panic, like it's trying to jolt you to get you to wake up so that you're not falling asleep so quickly, and that they fall asleep at the same pace. It's not anything to be worried about, but it's generally it can be quite scary in the moment.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, all it is your brain trying to tell your body to slow down, because that jerk is essentially your heart and your nerves being set alight, and it's actually really rather interesting. But
I've had actually times when I'm asleep, and I guess it's because of the fear of falling, and because I feel like I'm falling in a dream because I can imagine it, that I literally I kind of struggle, but I'm just like I jump, I'm like, whoo, like that. I feel like I'm about to fall off, and I actually just kind of jerk a little bit in bed, and it's because I feel like I'm about to just collapse and just fall, and it's ugh, I hate that.
Right? Oh yeah.
It's just it's terrifying because I hate. I mean, I'm not a big fan of heights anyway, but that feeling is just the worst because it can happen a lot. I mean, it happens to me a lot, especially. I mean, I think it happens to everyone, but specifically me is because it just. I mean, it's pretty normal. I think that we just.
It doesn't happen very often to me, but when it does, it's terrifying.
It is terrifying. But yeah, that's something that's happened a lot. I mean, again, with dreams, it's so mysterious because anything can happen in them. I mean, things like death can happen. You can actually die in dreams. I mean, not real life, but you can actually get. Sometimes you can get killed. You can get killed in dreams. You can have superpowers. I mean, some people have often oh, have you ever dreamed you have a lightsaber? It's everyone does at one point in their life. They always dream they're a Jedi.
I have guilty and charged.
Just one?
Or they dream they can use the Force, or be Spider-Man or whatever. It's everyone dreams that at one point. I mean, it never happens to me, but I'll be fucking cool if it could.
There's a lot of interesting theories as to why people dream certain types of things, and it has a lot to do with your subconscious. Oh, yeah. Hey. It has a lot to do with your subconscious, things where you can control the elements, or the force, or something like that. I read somewhere once that actually is an indicator that you have a subconscious need to be more in control of things in your real life.
Maybe.
Sometimes, I don't know. There's a lot of information about that. Don't quote me on it.
Right, yeah.
But I did read that somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but I thought that was pretty interesting, and it makes sense,
Of course, yeah.
Because that's it makes sense.
Yeah, of course. It's really interesting. Real quick before we continue, Lucas has just joined the call. Sorry that took a while. We had some logistics to figure out.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? So we're talking about just in general the idea of dreams. We're talking about cool dreams. And then we kind of went on to the more terrifying dreams because it can happen a lot. We originally talked about the idea of falling in dreams because I have dreams where I fall a lot, or I fall and then I jerk in bed and I feel oh my god, what just happened, or whatever. Maybe you could chat some on things you've had in the past. I know dreams are hard to remember, but maybe you've had experiences in the past like that. Any kind of dream like that?
Most of my dreams that I remember are literally just me tripping and falling
Really?
and then waking up.
Really? Wow. You have nothing really interesting or scary happen in your life?
What have you been falling off of, if you don't mind?
It's not off of anything. It's
just falling in general?
Over. I just fall over and then I wake up.
Wow, that's fascinating.
That is.
Wow. I've always thought the dreams have been fascinating because they're really nothing you can control with dreams. And that's what makes them fascinating, is because they're so surprising. And they're so eventful because they're so surprising. And you never know what's going to happen. Because I mean, I've had some pretty cool dreams in the past. The only problem is that I can't remember most of them. But I've had weird dreams. I don't know if we can talk about that now. We could probably talk about that concept of dreams that are just so bizarre that they make no sense. Anybody have dreams like that?
Well, there was the aliens one I told you about earlier.
Right, of course, yeah.
Let's see. I've had more than one dream where it involved the sky, and there were these sparkles in the sky, and I just freaking loved it. It was so bizarro, but it was actually really, really freaking cool. And there was also this other dream where, like Brennan might know, it was a Star Trek dream. I was on a planet. The sky was kind of like like how the dusk sky, like it's kind of like shades of turquoise.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like clouds, yeah. It was that. And it was a planet, it was probably like a ship's junkyard, and we were jumping off of it for some reason. And it was actually really freaking interesting and really cool. I really enjoyed that one.
Wow, yeah, I can understand how that could be a thing that can happen. That's insane.
Right?
Have you ever had dreams where monsters are attacking you, or like you're in a kind of horror movie or something like that, or things are just kind of like
I can mention
a Stranger Things scenario where you never know what's gonna happen, like someone could just come out and jump at you and kill you?
Well, like I mentioned, that's pretty much all the dreams that I have. I have dreams like that pretty much constantly. Or at least I did. Most of my dreams are something of that nature, and there's a lot of shit happening. People, I mean, shit always goes down in them. They're net.
Yeah.
They are eventful.
Shit going and hitting the fan.
What was that?
Said shit going and hitting the fan.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's I always feel like I feel like the scary dreams are the worst because they're so, I don't know, they're horrifying, obviously, but it's like you don't want it to be real, and you never know if that actually could be real, if it's actually something that can happen in real life. Like the falling dreams a lot, like doing crazy stuff like falling off, or having the idea of you're never gonna make it back, you're never gonna land on your feet. It's like it's so scary. I know we should probably not talk about that stuff anymore, but it's just a part of dreaming. I mean, dreams are so mysterious because you never know what could happen. And I think there's been studies about how dreams work, and just like they're things that form in the brain when you're sleeping, and they happen at random. I don't know why they happen at random. I don't know what makes a dream. I mean, there's been films about like how dreams are made. Like, oh, the BFG explored that. Like, oh, he makes dreams for kids. That's nice and everything. But the real question of the science of dreams is how dreams can actually what causes a dream to happen? Like what causes the genre of the dream? I guess that's a better way of saying it. I
don't think there really is any way of telling exactly what type of dream you'll have. It's just sort of an amalgamation of information your mind collects throughout its waking hours and needs to deal with it.
Yeah,
I actually disagree with it. Like I mentioned with my dreams, at the same time, while most of them are violent, a lot of them are kind of my own choosing. Like if there's a certain prompt that I want to do, and if I remember it, I can tell myself, okay, let's open this file and do that. I mean, a lot of my dreams, the ones that are my decent dreams that aren't just a bunch of bloodbaths, are the dreams where I actually tell myself, okay, let's go ahead and do this today.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually
it's not even funny.
And I've actually been able to return, like if I wake up and then I fall asleep again, I'm actually able to return to that dream again and finish it off. I've noticed that lately more than, and it's actually pretty cool because I used to get pretty frustrated when I was having a really good freaking dream and I get woken up for school at 6 in the morning.
I was talking about it earlier.
I can't fucking get back to it.
That actually reminds me of a really funny point in one of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, and this is a really hilarious thing.
Yeah.
I love the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, and there was a point where Greg, and it was hilarious. I love those books. There's a point where Greg's having a dream where he's about to win like something for swimming or something like that, and then he gets woken up by his dad, like taking the trash out, like, oh fine. Taking the trash out, like, alright, back to the, like, alright, back to the, yeah, I win the thing. It's like, yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, I'm gonna pause the dream. Just put a pause on the dream. Okay, remember that dream. That's exactly where that's off. Take care of the thing. Okay, back to sleep.
Right.
It's like, I mean, that's never just gonna happen because that's a kid's book. But
I actually believe it. That actually, and I'm gonna have to read up on that later. But
yeah.
It's actually really freaking interesting how that would work.
It's like you pause a dream, you come back to it after a while. You come back to it after a whole 24 hours, and you go back to it, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is the last place I last saw the dream. It's like, okay, let's finish the dream out. Because I feel like dreams are essentially stories that just happen in your mind, essentially, which is really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Like they're random stories, and they can be scary, they can be adventures, they can be fun, they can be whatever they want to be. Really, sometimes you can't even control what they are. Really, in fact, a lot of the time, you are like, okay, tonight I'm gonna dream about this. Never happens.
Nope.
Almost never happens. Like, okay, tonight I'm going to have a lightsaber. I'm going to kill everyone, and it's like it never happens.
Cracking open a cold one with the boys, or even better, summoning an old one with the boys.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing about dreams that makes them so frustrating is that you can never do what you want. No, you can. I mean, the stuff that you can do what you want are really random, but like it's like specifically what you want to do never happens, and because they happen so randomly, you can never know what the good things are. I mean, there are a lot of good things that happen in dreams, but the fact is, like, you can never have a dream the way you want it to be, which sucks, because that's the best part of dreams, is having your way.
Right?
Because, like, whenever I'm having a dream, I never think about, oh, I'm in a dream, okay, I want this to happen. I'm just like, I'm a god now. Poof, make it happen. It's like, it never happens. It just sucks. It's like
a Bruce Almighty situation.
Exactly. I'm going to make this happen. I'm in a dream. It's my dream. I won't make the way I want. Nope, sorry. That's not how dreams work. They're very different. You'd be surprised about how dreams work in the real world compared to the fictional. I think I've actually have been in film. Dreams are actually a lot different than they are in real life. I think. I don't know an example of something like that, but there've been. I know that it's been done in film where dreams have happened. I mean, especially in like Star Wars, like having Padme dying, or even Anakin's mother dying, that kind of thing.
Anakin Skywalker.
Or like, actually, I mean, what's interesting about Anakin in Star Wars is his dreams actually come true. Like,
yeah,
I always feel like
Palpatine.
Dreams are like the future. Maybe they are. Maybe dreams are actually the future. I mean, if Star Wars told anything, they are the future, and they're actually things that will happen.
Right.
I mean, it's an idea, but it's like, yeah, I do hope not, because that would be. I mean, if it's like being in the middle of a twister, that would be terrifying. Let's hope that doesn't actually happen. But I know that Star Wars is fictional and everything, but like, Anakin does dream the things that actually does happen in his life, which are just horrible. But at the same time, it's just interesting. But yeah, have any of you had dreams where everything has just worked out perfectly and nothing has gone horribly?
I try to avoid those.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's kind of it's hard to think about that. I mean, I'm bringing it up because it's a concept that hasn't been really touched on a whole lot. I mean, that's the thing about dreams is there's so much science behind them about what causes them. But at the same time,
I don't want a dream like that. I don't want a dream like that. Well, the reason being, I mean,
yeah,
a dream is supposed to be a dream come true, right? But at the same time, it is literally a dream because you got to be asleep to believe it. If there's something like that happening, I want to actually improve. I want to actually improve who I am. those dreams, even though they were literally nightmares, I mean, literally, that I was describing to you, it still taught me quite a few different things.
Yeah.
I'm a martial artist. I was in Taekwondo for 11 years. I
Really?
know how to kick ass if I need to. Oh, yeah, I was in Taekwondo.
Nice.
I know
That's
how to kick
really
ass if
freaking
need
cool.
be. And at the same time, that also gave me some different insights. Okay, if I'm in a hand-to-hand combat situation, what am I going to do for this? Okay, someone does the sweep for my leg. What can I do with my particular body style to counter this? This happens, that happens. Just the same as chess.
Yeah.
So if
that's
anything,
cool.
I like to use mine to improve my own knowledge. And at the same time, though, those dreams, yes, they are dreams. I want to move to Canada one day. I want to live in Alberta, Canada, Drumheller Valley.
Oh, wow.
And I want to work at the Royal Time Museum. That's my dream.
That's really cool. That's really nice.
But at the same time, if I just believe, hey, I am there. When I wake up, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can understand.
People, yeah, you need to have good, happy dreams sometimes. But at the same time,
yeah, definitely.
It's not for everyone all the time. Sometimes you got to have a healthy balance of what the fuck and oh my god, this is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
Have any of you had any celebrity encounter dreams where you've met celebrities in real life, or you've imagined what it's like to meet that celebrity, or you kind of wonder, you're going to an event, you like wonder how it's going to be in your dream, like you dream of this, about what your day like the next day is going to be, or you dream
I don't
about
think any of us want to have restraining orders on us.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but yeah, I just feel like, I mean, there's not a whole lot of dreams where you can just meet celebrities, but I feel like it does happen occasionally. There's sometimes where where you can encounter celebrities in a dream. I mean, everyone at one point in their life, they always dream about meeting a celebrity in real life. I mean, the only way you can do that is you go to a Comic-Con, but I don't know. Have any of you had any just encounter dream? Maybe not celebrity dreams, but just encounter dreams.
Never meet your idols, my friend.
Well, I mean, again, let's go to Comic-Con.
I met one. I met a couple of mine actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met Dr. Jack Warner, who is one of the biggest minds in paleontology. I met him a few years ago. He was a really amazing guy.
Nice.
Just awesome. It was an amazing privilege to speak to him and get some insights.
Nice.
Also, have you guys seen the movie Hellboy? Have you seen the original Hellboy movies?
I have never seen it before in my life.
Okay.
I may or may not have. I'm leaning toward may not have.
Never seen it.
Guillermo del Toro
Not in a lot of years.
Nah, I've never seen it. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it. Also, I'm not sure I want to see
Have you seen
it.
The Shape of Water?
The what?
The Shape of Water?
Oh no, I've heard of it, but never
Heard of
watched
it.
Yeah,
Falling
Yeah,
Skies?
I don't think I've seen it either.
Falling Skies?
no, I don't think so either.
Heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Buffy
heard of
the
it.
Vampire
Sounds
Slayer.
familiar,
I
but-
haven't seen the show, but I gotta ask. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh
I've
no,
heard
no
of
way, no, turn off, turn off.
No, not even Falling Skies. Okay. You of all
I'm
people
feeling
will be
my
watching
friend
this
might
one,
have
Tom.
seen it though.
The new Star Trek series that they have going on right now. The
Oh yeah,
Discovery.
yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Want to?
No, I need to get back. I need to get back to original series. I really should.
Okay.
They're long
I'm
episodes.
halfway
though.
through season 3, and I have to say, I can't pick a favorite season, but if I had to, I want to say that probably season 2 is, because there's just so many of the fucking classic episodes in it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, well, with that being said, then, the guy that I met was a man named Doug Jones. If you guys have seen Hellboy, he was the guy that played Abe Sapien, basically the fish guy. He played the Fawn and Pan's Labyrinth. In Star Trek Discovery, he played, the guy that is really tall, the alien dude with kind of the tan face, really weird looking, like the second in command on Enterprise. His name. Let me do a search here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling I know who it is you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
his
send a
name
picture.
in the show is, let's see, who does he play? Come on,
Something-
show me the team cast.
10.
Saru?
Who?
Saru in Star Trek Discovery.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen the new series yet. I want
Okay.
to.
So the guy that plays Saru, he was also in Hocus Pocus. He played shit. You remember Hocus Pocus, that movie?
I have seen it. Yeah, I did a review on it. Yeah.
Remember Billy Butcherson?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That was his very first role.
Oh wow.
Basically, he is contortionist. He is contortionist actor. He does most of his stuff is in makeup. He's done a lot of work with Guillermo del Toro, and he's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Okay.
And actually, in the Hellboy movie, there was a scene where he and Ron Perlman sang a song that's called "Can't Smile Without You." And my friend and I, we went to Comic-Con. Doug Jones was there. I had no idea until I actually got there. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta fucking meet him. I have to fucking meet him. And he was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my whole life. He was just an absolute true gentleman.
Oh, wow.
He took each and every person that was coming up, even the people that didn't know him very well. Because I've seen a few of his stuff, but I haven't seen all of it. And I haven't seen a whole lot. But I've seen the roles I have seen him in are some of my favorites. I mean, Hellboy is something that I grew up with and is one of my all-time favorite movies of ever. And there's a picture they had from the set where basically with him and Ronald Perlman singing "Can't Smile Without You." And I purchased that from him and I asked for him to sign it. He signed it, and together he and I just sang a part of that song. He was like, "Oh my God, you do have an amazing voice." That's what he was saying. He even gave me a hug. I mean, it was awesome.
Nice.
I walked away and I literally just skip and joy, like, oh my God, I just met my idol. I mean, he was just an absolute amazing human being.
I know what that's like.
I have to say, if stand corrected, do me.
I know what it's like to meet an idol. I have the same
Doug Jones.
Experience.
He's mine.
I remember. I think I told you about my encounter with Jacksepticeye. Did I tell you that?
I don't remember.
Okay, so it's on my wall actually, and it was my idol encounter. And I know this is a little bit off topic from dreams, but we'll get back to that. So real quick, I mean, it's my literal dream to meet him, or at least to encounter him. Not maybe meet him, but encounter him, because I didn't know what it was going to be like to actually meet him. And the same thing with going to conventions. I'd never. And I've dreamt of like what it would be like to meet all my favorite YouTubers or anything like that. And I remember going to PAX 2017. I missed last year, but this year I'm going. And so 2017, I missed. I got to see his panel, but I wasn't able to go to his signing. And so I wandered the hall. I wasn't even aware he was gonna just like be an average person just wandering around the hall and just checking out the games and doing whatever, because he's also a person, not just a YouTuber. And I was just wondering. I think it was the 4th floor of the convention center of at Washington State, and I froze, and I'm like, "Is that Jacksepticeye?" I'm like, "No, that can't be." And I'm like, "Oh, it is. It is definitely him." So I was a little bit nervous, so I went over to him, and my legs were shaking, obviously, because it's like he's a big deal. He's like millions of subscribers. He's a pretty popular guy, still is. And so I couldn't really get an autograph from him, but I got a picture, and I was so happy. And then later on, I mean, this is the impact that ancient personalities have on people in the real world, is that later on, after I was wandering the hall, because I was so happy that I got to maybe not exactly meet him. I was so nervous I couldn't even say my name. I mean, I got a picture, but that's basically the equivalent to meeting him. And I went around, and later I saw a girl crying because she couldn't believe she was meeting her idol too. And like, it was like, "I'm sorry, I can't sign this if you're crying." And it's like, I mean, it does go to show you that internet personalities are really nice about fans and meeting them. And it's like any encounter with a celebrity, they're always very nice about it. And it's wonderful to have that experience. I mean, yeah, there's that awkward celebrity encounter that you can have, but at the same time, that was one of the best moments of my life, because I never thought I could actually meet the guy. Like, that was incredible. So that was something that I did the last PAX I was at, and it was incredible. And I know what I was talking about dreams about that, But yeah, technically it does count as a dream because it was my dream to meet him. So,
Yeah.
I actually got one, not my own. Well, technically mine, but also my dad's.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about like happy moments as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going off on a tangent, people, but we got to talk about
fine.
this as
We're the
well.
madhouse. We do that.
So my dad and he has raised me on Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and Transformers.
Oh yeah, you've said them
Oh
all the
my
time.
god,
Yeah, we know.
Transformers!
Yep.
And when he raised me with it, though, he also decided to write fan fictions, and he has a few different fan fictions out there on the interwebs.
Oh my god!
Of Zoids, of G.I. Joe, and I mean, there's some damn good books. And what happened was, years ago, I was probably about 13, somewhere between 13 and 15 years old. We're still living over in Washington State.
Yeah.
And my dad actually got tickets to a G.I. Joe convention here in Kansas City. And keep in mind, this is years before I had any knowledge I'd ever move here. So,
right.
I mean, how ironic. But anyway, what happened was Dad and I flew out here for a week. And this is around the time when the new G.I. Joe movie with, not Brendan Fraser. What the hell is the guy? Channing Tatum.
Ah, okay, got it.
It was the first G.I. Joe movie that had ever been out, the first live action one. And G.I. Joe was starting to make a bit of a comeback like Star Wars did. And so he and I were like, okay, we got to go. We had the most amazing time of our lives. But in addition to that, though, there's a guy named Larry Hama. He worked for Marvel. But when Marvel and G.I. Joe, like Hasbro, they were talking about G.I. Joe, they basically went up to him and told him, okay, make a background for these characters. So he just looked at these guys and was like, okay, this is Snake Eyes. He is a ninja from this clan. Okay, here's his bio. He basically made all the meat and potatoes of the characters. He gave life to these figures. And he is an idol of my dad's. And so my dad and I are going, and this was my utmost... This trip was my best part of my childhood, hands down.
Nice. And
we went, and we got some signs from him. But at the same time, though, Dad and I are walking back to the hotel from the floor, and he sees Larry Hama just walking around. Wow. He's like, oh my god, I gotta go and talk to him. And so he hands me a bunch of the jail guys that he got himself, and he is gone for about 45 minutes or so. I go back up to the house, I play with my stuff, and he is gone for a good 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
And he sat down just one-on-one talking with his idol.
Oh my god, wow.
In my entire years, I had not seen Dad that happy in a long time.
Wow.
And he was the happiest man I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he was just beaming ear to ear, and he got to meet his idol, and he got writing advice from Larry fucking Hama.
Oh my god.
They were just talking about, okay, so this is what I have for my writing. Oh, this is what you're doing. Just giving each other advice and talking to each other like genuine people. So, yeah. See, I mean, Larry Hama, I know that you're never going to listen to this, but if you ever do, thank you.
Oh, yeah,
from all of us.
I bet that
I was a brat when I met him. I was a real asshole.
That sounds amazing, actually. Yeah, celebrity encounters are always the best, and they're always surprising. But anyway, sorry, we went on a tangent. We're like that. But back to dreams. I mean, he was kind of a little bit off topic, but it was kind of an idea like, oh, dreaming about meeting people you never thought you could meet. But real quick, I don't think I've heard from Steven and Lucas about what your thoughts on dreams are as a whole. About like, and I know you said the dreams you've had in the past, but what are your thoughts on dreams in general? Like, what do you think of them?
I mean, I remember I did a short essay about it, like in high school.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's a lot of debate about what function it serves, but most psychologists think it's about processing memories.
That's what we were talking about earlier, yeah, about how it has to do with the memories and stuff, about how...
Right.
I mean, it could possibly predict the future, but at the same time, that's kind of bogus, but... I mean, there are times
where
I actually just
looked that up, and it's apparently just memory bias. So if you write down your dream right after you have it, it won't predict the future.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you don't, then you'll feel like it has. So that's why so many people think that dreams predict the future. Is it's just they think back to it and they're like, oh yeah, I think I had a dream like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to remember them after if you don't write it down. How about you, Steven?
It's like if you had an unlimited amount of movies, and then every night you just pick a random one off.
Oh yeah, that's what Bigdinoguy was talking about earlier, about how it's you just like, today I'm going to dream about this. It never happens.
Today I'm going to dream about Mass Effect.
It's like reaching into an infinite bag. You close your eyes, you reach into the infinite bag, you pull out a film, and then you watch it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. That's what dreams basically kind of are.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like an infinite amount of movies. Good, bad, in between, whatever.
Good, bad, ugly.
Yeah, definitely. I think Lucas wasn't quite here when we were talking about how dreams, the way they work.
And you also have to remember. Sorry. You also have to remember, like, Frankenstein's monster, like that story was based on a dream.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know either. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That classic tale is based on a dream that the person who originally wrote it had.
That's really interesting. I didn't think about that. But Lucas, I know that you came in late about this part of the discussion, but we were talking about the fact that with dreams, you can't just decide that you're going to dream something and never actually happens. You can't just, because dreams are so random, you never know what can happen. And so the reality of dreams is that you can't just decide what you're gonna dream. Like, you can't choose what you're gonna dream. You can't dream you're a Jedi. You can't dream you're using the Force. You can't dream you're a superhero like Spider-Man. You just can't do that. You don't have that luxury. Dreams, the way they function is, unless you're the BFG, you just collect dreams. But the way the dreams work in my book is that they are literally random events. They can be anything, and that because of that, you can't really choose what happens. So
apparently, there's a thing.
I mean, you can lucid dreams.
Yeah.
Ever heard of lucid dreams?
Yeah, that's what I used to do. Still do on occasion, but not in a while.
Yeah, of course. Continue, Lucas. Go ahead.
I was going to mention lucid dreaming, and apparently you can train yourself to do them more often by keeping a dream journal.
Writing it down.
People have done them before, haven't they? Yeah, they've did not. But yeah, I just find it fascinating. The reason why I wanted to do a podcast on this particular topic is just because it's just a fascinating topic, and we've never really talked about it much at all. We never really explored the idea of dreams as a whole, and just like, because I mean, everyone has dreams in their own way, and everyone has the weirdest dreams ever, or the coolest, or whatever the dream is. But I've never really taken the time to really have a podcast on this topic, and I'm glad we were able to do it because it's fun to talk about this, because you never really think about it. Like, it's one of those topics where you never really think about it too much. You never really take time to really think about what it means.
Will you take time to dream a dream with me?
What was that?
Will you take time to dream a dream with me?
Okay.
Mr. Sandman.
Oh yeah.
Dream. Boom, 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 boom.
Actually, real quick, that's an interesting discussion. We can that song. I think it was they're in the 50s or something like that.
I don't know. It's sketchy.
Actually, I think it was during the 50s because it played during the first scene of Back to the Future when Marty went back to 1955. And that lyric said that, like, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. What could that mean? I know we don't need to talk about it. It's not like super in depth. It was like, what does it really mean though?
I can tell you. Do I know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't know? Okay, well.
No, I know. Do you want me to tell you?
Oh, I thought you said you don't know. Okay, go ahead.
So basically, Sandman is, well, you know how you get sand in your eyes?
Yeah, a little bit.
Dried up tears, that's pretty much what it is. And people made up, hey, the Sandman, he's the one that puts you to sleep. That's why you got sand in your eyes.
Yeah, of course.
Give him to lips like
that's interesting, though. That's really interesting.
Tell him that his whole some nights are over. What? I got the song in my head now.
Oh, that's not a problem. It's just it's just the meaning has never really come across to me, especially it's well, it's not like a.
Sing it really quick.
It's not like a popular song, but it's a classic song that happens in a lot of pop culture things. Like it happened in Doctor Who at one point, happened in Back to the Future. It's all over the place, but it's like I think it even happened in WALL-E, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know.
I don't think it was in WALL-E.
Was it? Maybe I think it was Dolly. I'm talking about because that's what we watched.
Maybe Enter Sandman. Well, hey, we also are at time right now.
Is there anything else on Dreams you'd like to talk about before we wrap this up? Because yeah, we are out of time. Unfortunately, that's our hour or however long we've been recording for. I can never keep track of this. We always just talk about things forever, really.
Used to.
Okay, so that is going to do it for this episode of the Madhouse. I am sorry we are out of time. But that was good. I'm glad we did that. That was a fun topic. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It just never really. It's been on the back burner really because I have a whole lot of back burner topics. I just never really gotten around to doing them. So anyway, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Madhouse. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. We all really do appreciate it. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more podcasts like this and other great content. Also, make sure you click that bell to enable alert so you don't miss any of my uploads. Don't forget also to subscribe to my second channel where I do reactions. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to bigdinoguy. And we'll be back next time with another episode. All right, bye-bye.
Hello, mother fluffers.